Hi there, welcome back to Synchro Secrets, the go-to channel for all things artistic swimming. My name is Agata, and I am an artistic swimming coach, a judge, and a content creator. And today I wanted to talk about mistakes that I spotted over the years in coaching artistic swimming that the athletes make in their support scull. So if you are struggling in your support scull, make sure you watch this video from the beginning to the end because I will be showing 10 different mistakes that you can make in a support scull that probably are, stopping you from getting better and for getting out higher out of the water in your verticals. So stay along if you want to make a big difference in your technique and if you want to improve your support scull as well. And before I start, make sure that you subscribe to this channel and you hit that notification bell so you never miss any of my videos. And don't forget to like it and share with the others so the channel can grow bigger every day. Alright, so let's dive into mistake number 1. This mistake is probably the most common amongst beginners to artistic swimming. Remembering to keep your fingers closed is essential to many skills in this sport, so you have to keep reminding yourself, keep your fingers together. If it doesn't help and your athletes are still struggling with it, make sure you place something like a hairband in between their fingers. So the aim is to basically not lose it. They have to keep their fingers together and press it against each other so the hairband stays. Another mistake that I see very often is quite often the athletes forget that the sculling cannot go well if their wrists are not tense. The main point is to not only keep them tense, but also make sure you keep them in line with your fingers. I quite often see something like this. This wrist placement doesn't allow the athletes to grab the water correctly as the water just runs down in the direction of the wrist placement. The ideal wrist placement should show one line with the forearm and fingers. If you are new to artistic swimming and need some guidance on where to start, make sure that you check out my artistic swimming course for beginner athletes and coaches. You will learn 9 different positions and 6 different sculling techniques, so you can try them out outside of the water and in the water as well. You will get an underwater video footage that will clearly show you what you have to do under the water. I will leave a link in the description of this video so you can check them out. Mistake number 3 talks about excessive movement of the elbows. When your elbows should actually be almost stationary, that means they need to rotate a little bit, but cannot move forward and backward like in this example. This will make your whole position less stable and it will be harder to keep a stationary position while maintaining the height in your vertical lines. The next mistake is also about the positioning of the elbows, but let's have a look at this example. By placing your elbows too close to your body, you are limiting your arm's range of motion. There should be some space in between the body and the elbows left to allow a free and interrupted movement. If you are moving back in your verticals, this next mistake is probably the one that you are making. I call it sculling in, as it represents the hands movement, which basically means turning them to face to each other. When you are sculling this way, you are pushing the water away from you, which results in moving back. Mistake number 6 is the one that many athletes do, especially at the beginning of their career. It is when the athletes scull in an upward and downward motion instead of sculling in and out. This will result in less stability in the water and will probably lead to moving backward. Now the next mistake is, which again may lead to instability in your verticals and you might struggle to gain a full height out of the water. Try to scull a little bit closer to your body without moving your arms behind your back. The next mistake is basically the opposite to what we just covered, which is sculling too narrowly, which may also lead to struggling to gain height and stability in your vertical positions. Mistake number 9 talks about the positioning of your hands. This mistake is quite often seen in beginner athletes who struggle to understand the need for water grab. When cupping your hands too much, you cannot feel the water as well as when your hands are a little bit straighter. Yes, you will need to create a small dance in your hands. They cannot be completely flat. The fingers need to face up and your hands need to create a small cup, like in this example. And we have arrived to the last mistake on my list. This can be visible when looking from the front view when you can see both arms working. It would also likely be quite noticeable that one arm is sculling a bit higher than the other. There can be an instance when one arm is actually crossing on top of the other arm. It is definitely worth checking if your hand positioning is correctly and in one line. So I hope this video gave you a clear insight into what kind of mistakes can be made in support Scull. If this video helped you in any way, make sure you give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions or topics you would like me to cover, make sure you leave a comment down below this video. And that's all for today. Thanks!